Blog entry 122 from 9/25 of 2023. I have moved to Hillsborough to await time with my guru, who will be traveling through in a few weeks. I wanted to document some of the thoughts about the puzzle I've been contemplating. It seems that the soul of a divine personality, a person one relates to as an identity, works to create space within our own vessel, purifying the heart as one moves closer to Krishna. There is a merging with more of the divine presence, though I'm not entirely sure how this occurs. In my meditations, I've been experiencing a merging with Saraswati, who comes to elevate my consciousness towards Krishna, allowing more peace and clarity to flow through me. I'm aware that I'm not yet in the divine world. Here, my challenge is to face countless obstacles in order to grow and deepen my trust and love in Krishna. I feel a call to carry as much of the diversity of experience as possible, understanding that the more the material ego dominates, the less divine presence I can hold. I'm uncertain whether this process is about becoming a vehicle to carry Rādhā and Krishna's presence, or if it simply connects me to a more permanent final destination. So, this experience that I'm talking about in this post, Saraswati was coming to help me work through different things internally that I was having a hard time with at the time. And one thing I want to say is the personality of a divine being like Saraswati coming to visit you. I didn't really, for the longest time, I really hadn't connected with Saraswati that much. And I just saw the pictures of all the white and on the swan and playing music. And I was like, oh, it's really soft and really sweet. Wow. And she is. But then she's also got this super focused side of her and an intensity to her to do what needs to be done and just like masterful of so many things. And she really comes in and she can really help move through blocks that we can't really necessarily move on our own. And she's there doing Krishna Seva is the thing. So she's there to help. And who comes to visit, you can even ask them in your meditation when they come if they're there for Krishna Seva. And for the longest time, they answer and they let you know. And if they don't, then you can ask Rādhā and Krishna and then they'll let you know. So, but it's interesting when you meet them, the different ones, your relationship and your interaction with them is very much in context to where you're at now, what path you're on now, where you're wanting to go, and what you're focused on. So a lot of it is about intent. So that will have a lot of context around what their personality and their interaction is like with you on your journey. For the longest time, I just focused on Rādhā and Krishna all the time, and no one else. But as you grow closer to Rādhā and Krishna, that only works for so long. For the longest time, I would be like, I would hang out with y'all, but I could be hanging out with Rādhā and Krishna right now. So I'm going to go hang out with them because that it just resonates with my soul and my heart, and the love and the bliss for me that's where I want to be. So that's where I would always go. But then after a certain period of time, and growing to a certain period of time, Rādhā and Krishna would say, the angels and Saraswati and the other people are coming to help and do Krishna Seva, and it's important to be a little more open to it. So there's a certain point on your journey, on your Bhakti path, or there was for me, where Rādhā and Krishna is like, it's okay to hang out with other people, but keep your focus with us, but it's okay to do that. And they let you know. And it's part of your growth and part of your integration and part of navigating being here while also navigating like the divine realms, while also keeping your focus on Rādhā and Krishna or God in those three or four or multiple or more things at all the same time. And you can grow into it. And there'll be some days part of it's off and back on and off and back on. And all of that's normal. It's really just part of it. Yeah. But this blog entry is talking about how people will start to come to visit and they will be helping you because the ego is really tricky. So we have the material ego, and it's not just here. There'll be different levels of it from past lives and deeper ideas that you have in subconscious and in your body, because you can store emotions in your body from past lives. So when we get into this deeper, broader integration, it's important not to hold on to anything. That's what my teacher always says. And that's a really simple phrase, but it is vastly deep simultaneously as being simple. So that's also, if you think about it, how that connects with existing here and now in a place of surrender with Rādhā and Krishna, with God, rather than thinking we're making this happen and we are the warrior, or we are the healer, or we are whatever deeper identity tries to come up and say, I am this. I like this. I don't like that. Right? When you hear that, that seems more material and like on earth when someone says that. But in reality, we have those here, and then we also have those into the lower, actually the higher material energy. And so the ego gets more subtle at times up there, but it still purifies out. And so Rādhā and Krishna, as we move closer, we move more and more into this place of surrender. And they take care of everything, and they heal everything, and they bring everything. And they know our soul. And they know who our soul and we are. And we really don't. So, so the term, don't hold on to anything, it applies when you first start. It applies in the middle of the trip. It applies it applies at the end of the trip. And it probably applies the whole time you're here on the material in the material world, because attachment's attachment, and it gets really tricky. Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. And if you have a chance, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's super helpful. All right. Rādhā Rādhā.